Well, you could check out the holocron of Master Udo Faron. It should also be located in the temple. You will require the permission of a master in order to rent it.
Because frowns.
Speaking of which, this does not appear to be the temple. Where are we?
Unfortunately, Master, you had to be moved. The information you contained is vital to what we are doing here, and we had to take you with us. Please, is there anything in your archives, even remotely pertinent to what I'm talking about? Anything beyond training? Anything unusual that you weren't originally programmed to know still inside your memory?
I will do my best to assist you in whatever way I can. Perhaps by running an internal diagnostic, I may be able to clean up some of my other files and access more information of what you are seeking. But at the present moment, I cannot help you, unless you are looking for guidance on force techniques or other meditation.
Well, please do what you can to prepare yourself. Again, I cannot stress how important the information you contain is.
It saddens me to hear that. This information which is so vital may have been lost. And none of the other holocrons in the temple contain the necessary information?
None of the other holocrons, as far as we know, still exist.
Oh. Why not?
The Jedi Temple that we found you in has been long since abandoned. There's now a Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. The main Jedi Temple is on Coruscant, but the place we found you was in ruins.
That is interesting news. Do you know why the temple was abandoned?
I feel like I read that when I was looking for information, and that's why I went to go find Picaz at the place when I went back there, but I don't remember the reason.
Any character, you should probably remember it because it was like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GM help.
That was like 5 months ago, so
That's why you take notes.
I'm consulting my notes. Yeah, I believe what you just knew is that it was destroyed by some conflict against some dark side users, potentially the Sith, but it was after the shadow, so unrelated to that.
gotcha. Well, it appears, as far as we know, it was destroyed in a battle against some dark side users.
He looks sad. But it sounds like the Jedi managed to persevere in the end. You said there's now another enclave on the planet.
There are many enclaves throughout the galaxy. But unfortunately, Darkseid has taken its toll against our orders throughout the years.
Ah, but at least the light still burns.
For now. Please, as you said, you might be able to repair some of your archive. If you could do that now and as quickly as possible, that would be of great help.
I will attempt to do the best that I can. If several of you would wish to assist me, so I have greater access to the Force, that would probably speed up the process.
However, I can help, Master.
Yes. However we can help.
Ariel nods.
Kaz nods.
Dells in.
Well, I feel that you are all still weary from recent efforts. Perhaps one of you can assist me at a time. This will take a rather long time to go through the corrupt sectors of my memory archives. As I mentioned, I'm only operating at 24.7% capacity.
I would be very interested in doing this.
As would I.
Yeah, we can rotate as one becomes tired. That way the process can be continuous.
Yeah,
Very
let's
well,
do that.
Knight. And he looks questioningly at Kaz.
Kaz soon looks behind him.
Yes, Master Kill. I was referring to you. What is your name? Knight
Oh.
what?
Oh, I'm not a knight. My name is Prakaz.
Ah, are you still a Padawan then?
Yes, he is, and he will go first.
It looked like he was about to say something. He cocks his head at Ariel.
Oh, very well then, Padawan Kaz. You must be quite a promising pupil to be assisting me in this matter. In the presence of such other powerful knights.
Kaz blinks a few times. I'm really hoping I roll a nat 20.
Rolls on that one. Oh, see, I thought you wouldn't be able to help me.
Should I make a roll?
Yeah.
And you know what? Just because of the way I'm being talked down to. A 6 and a 4.
Okay. So you get started on that.
I'll take the next shift.
Okay. John, do you want to make another knowledge, tactics, and stealth roll?
Use a force point, John. On the tactics.
Do you want to use a force point?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so you guys poke around that site for a while, but you see that while this one maybe initially looked promising, there's actually some tactical flaws and downsides to the location, just based in terms of the nearby traffic and locale. It's probably not going to actually work out as a great base, so you guys probably should move on to the next one. So if you want to go ahead and make rolls for the next one.
Okay.
Okay, I think someone stole all the good dice, or maybe just used them all up with your nat 20.
I don't think that's how statistics works, but you know,
Roleplay is not how statistics work.
I just did the math, and the highest number I could get if I used a force point on a roll, or on my use of force roll, would be 50. If I got a nat 20 and a 6 on my use the on my force point.
Yeah, this base location seems pretty good. So you guys start spreading out to try to establish a perimeter to keep on watch out for Sith traffic in the area, to find out when it would be safe to start moving personnel and supplies into the base. And yeah, Eric also tells the rest of your group that they've had some intel that some of their operatives have managed to hack into one of like the Sith remote relay stations and try to interfere with their ability to track suspicious movement of the resistance throughout the city, so that you guys can't easily be tracked just by analyzing like speed or traffic data to and from your bases.
That's good news.
Okay, so what does everybody else want to do during this time?
Dale's just gonna like rest while he waits for his turn.
Same.
Gerard's going to be doing some martial practices and whatnot. I believe the term we found out earlier was katas. But yeah, he's going to practice. He's going to practice some of his some of the martial techniques and whatnot, lightsaber techniques, making sure he is still fresh up on it.
Okay. So how long do you want to go for, Picasso, till you let someone else have a turn?
As long as I can, and like I've got my data pad there. Whenever I can, I try and take notes on how the computing works.
Okay, make an endurance check to see how many hours you can go for.
I should get some sort of bonus for my hula piece. But you can calculate that if you decide to accept it.
Yeah, you can go for up to 8 hours if you want to.
Then I go for 8 hours.
Okay.
Taking notes whenever I can.
Well, since he's going for a while.
Yeah, most of the process is you just like channeling some force energy into it mostly. and it seems to be doing most of the work and actually analyzing itself, so you can sort of observe the process and take notes while channeling energy at the same time.
Yay. Should how much I learn be a roll?
Yeah, you can guess make an intelligence check or any other
Technology
roll you want to
knowledge?
try to argue for. Okay, sure. That sounds good. Do you want to make another knowledge check for the notes that you wrote after fixing it as well?
Sure. Hey, can I use a force point on both? Since they're at different times.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a 28 and a 36. Okay, so if you started at like 9, then 8 hours after that is 5 p.m. So Ariel, you can make a use of force check. And you can start helping. You can also make an endurance check to see how long you can hump for. Yeah, you can help for 3 hours.
Right.
Okay, so by that point, then it's like 8 p.m.
I'll do it next.
Okay, you can make some rolls. Yeah, you can help for 9 hours.
Boom.
Very nice.
Would you like to help for all 9 hours?
Yes. Yes, I would.
From 8 p.m. to...
Yes, I was resting during the day so I could do this.
Okay. So would that be 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's about right.
Okay, is anyone awake at that time that wants to join in?
I think
Yeah.
I have some things to say about what I'm going to do in the meanwhile, real quick.
Okay. Yeah, as soon as you finish, Jella and Dirk come to report that the droids are being repaired.
I will thank Jella for retrieving the parts. And comment that I'm glad I didn't have to use any of Dirk's hard-won money.
Dirk mentioned that Bob was missing some sort of comm unit, but I was able to pick one up. We'll see if it is compatible with his hardware.
Ooh. Yes. That would be exciting. And then I guess I just have small talk with them until time to force transfer the night. Maybe try and prod Jella towards learning force stuff.
Or do you want to help with Bob's repairs?
Yeah, I'll help with Bob's repairs.
Especially since you were the one who cobbled them together from the other droids, so you could probably help tell the people where the other droids' parts go when you take them back on
Yeah.
Bob.
I owe him and the other droids that.
Okay, so make a mechanics check. Okay, well.
I'd use a force point, but it won't help that.
Yeah, so, yeah, Bob is not repaired by the time it's time to go to bed. Okay, so does anyone want to wake up at 5 a.m. to start helping the holocron, or does anyone just want to wake up at a normal time?
I only need 4 hours.
Yeah, I'll get up at 5. I force trans through the night anyways.
Oh, if he's gonna do that, I'll take my 6 hours.
Yeah, I don't think I spent, 8 plus 3 plus another 8 hours just training with my lightsaber in the cargo bay. That might be a little interesting.
Okay, draw, so you can make a use of force and endurance roll. Unfortunately, you can only help for 2 hours.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be kind of low. I didn't realize it'd be that low, but okay.
I imagine I should be next.
What about me?
Yeah, Kalani can help.
It is true. If it's not a lightsaber, though, I always forget about Kalani.
Watch Kalani get like the nat 20 and the best endurance and like sweep the floor with the rest of us.
Well, not 20 endurance.
Nat 20 endurance. She's got
20 endurance.
I mean, that's sort of expected.
Okay, well, with that roll without the nat 20, you'd be able to help for 13 hours. But I don't feel like it's realistic for you to help longer than that. So we'll just have the nat 20 mean that your help was twice as effective for those amount of hours.
Woohoo!
Kalani's just amazing.
Kalani's really working well with her force powers this episode.
I feel like she's grown in the Force as the campaign has continued.
Yeah.
Okay, so with Kalani's super helping, it only takes her 4.5 hours of helping before the holocron tells her that it has made some progress in identifying some of the corruption to its circuits. So that would be around 11:30 a.m.
More time fixing the robot.
I was eating breakfast at this time.
About 11? Yeah, Gerard would be eating brunch. Early lunch.
But we will come a calling as soon as the holocron's ready.
Yeah, I imagine we've all been watching our communicators just in case whoever's working with the holocron needs to switch out.
Okay, so before 11:30, the things that happen are John, you, and the Nth group go out to begin clearing out the base and actually moving into it and start doing that stuff. So if you want to make a strength check to see how much of the base you helped clean. Yes, you are in very good condition compared to a lot of the other people. And you also apparently have more work ethic, so you get a lot done.
Great.
And the other thing that happens before 11:30 is that Bob is fully repaired.
Yay!
So when you guys power him back up,
Is there a metal sliding door anywhere near Bob?
no. Why?
Ah, phooey.
Like the last time he ripped the door off and smashed Bob.
So when Bob boots up, he says, "My initial diagnostics indicate I am running once again at 100% capacity.
Yay!
I also
That
seem
was
to have
good.
access to my droid command module.
Yay! Okay, so we're gonna need to get that set up to the smaller droids once we fix them.
Indeed, it does not seem to be functional at the moment.
Well, we can work on that.
Then Bob turns to the other droid that's still working and says, "Triani, adoring droid, I need to update your comm protocols."
Oh no! There's a direct mind link between the crazy droid and Bob.
Yeah, but he's the control unit. I think
This
we're
is
okay.
true. But you never know what long exposure to such insanity will
But
cause.
seeing as they're droids, I don't think it's gonna make it insane.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I'd rather not have to lightsaber Bob too.
Okay, this says pilot, but it's actually a used computer, so
I asked Bob if he needs help.
possibly.
I get on the comms and call Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk and
Dirk.
Jella are there in the...
Oh.
There, you could see that. Okay, there we go. They're there. Since they were the ones that got the parts, they feel tied to the repair of the droid, so they're there supervising.
Watch out for that little droid around Jella.
That's true. Although in theory it has full shield, so it's not crazy at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, so Dirk's like, okay, yeah, I linked up this droid. Once the others are repaired, we can link those up as well.
Oh, time to get back to work.
Yeah, so John, while you're working, you also are informed that the other groups have also located places that they're also starting to establish bases at.
Okay.
Okay, so then all the Force users except for Gerard, apparently, because Barry just stepped away, I'll gather around the holocron. Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. Okay, so the holocron tells Kalani, I believe I have isolated some of the corruption to my memory core.
Good.
The only thing we need now is to actually perform the adjustment necessary to access those sectors. It is very tricky, and once done it cannot be undone. It requires a very fine control of the Force. So whoever among you believes you have the best chance of helping me with that, we should proceed with caution, because my memory may be irreparably lost if we fail.
Todd looks at Dell. Who do you think? I'm thinking it's either me or you.
I think that you're slightly stronger in this area.
Well, that does it.
Though there is a Force power here, Dell. You have that Force power that you used earlier in the session.
Oh, yeah, but that replaces it. That doesn't boost anything.
Exactly, it replaces it. So it's
Oh, you're right,
basically
so-
like you and Pakaz both get to make use of the Force check.
Oh,
If
you're
his
right.
is worse than yours, then
You're
yours
right.
applies.
You're correct.
Yeah, so if I screw it up, well,
Yeah.
let's find out. It's better. It could be a lot worse than that. I'm
Well,
gonna use a
it's
force
better.
point.
Yay, got over 40. Hopefully the DC wasn't 45.
Okay, so the holocron sort of directs you as you do it, and you aren't quite sure exactly what happens, but somehow you like minutely shift like the resonance of some of the crystal matrix. Then the holocron like flickers and like disappears, and then it reappears a little bit later.
I ask you to explain exactly what we were doing in minute detail as I raise my data pad.
Okay, it explains to you that somehow like it's determined that it was corrupted by a dark force presence that somehow altered its own force presence, and that you were slightly adjusting the resonance at which the crystal matrix was interacting with the force so that it could get back to its original state and be able to access the memory that it couldn't access from its old state.
Kaz writes this all down.
Okay. Then it says, well, luckily we didn't completely fail at that, and my internal diagnostics indicate that I am now running at an improved efficacy of 49.2%.
Oh, that's better.
I still seem to be impaired by some synthetic and less than optimal construction materials.
But that just affects your processing power, right?
Well, Padawan, don't think of this holocron merely as a computer. It is a cohesive unit that functions best when everything is working properly.
Well, I mean, in terms of memory access.
We may be able to access additional sectors of memory if it was repaired better.
I'm afraid that's not an option, Master, not at this time.
We don't have access to any other crystals to use.
I can sense several other crystals present in this room. But we should first check to see whether I now have access to the information which you need. If one of you would care to repeat your inquiry.
Dark side creature known as the Shadow. Any information on it?
Yes, we are seeking any information you have on a dark side creature known as the Shadow that the Jedi fought quite some time ago.
I pull up all the still existing data on my data pad from the Sith experiments and describe the creature.
No, you deleted everything.
Yeah. I deleted all the stuff that we did. Wait, what?
We talked about this last time. You actually deleted everything. But you sort of remember what it said. And then wrote down like what he said, what he said about the last entry. But it's not the direct translation. Yes, from I. But it's not like a direct translation. It's just sort of generally what he thought he remembered.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you can show him that. Yes, I believe I do have limited recollection of this event. There was a powerful dark side creature, sometimes referred to in local legend as the Shadow, which led an attack against Dantooine.
What can you tell us about that attack?
Please hold. Scrolling through my 189 pages of notes.
He decided to write a whole new book.
Yeah, I was gonna point out, what'd you do? Do an entire manuscript of every session we did?
Basically. I mean, that's
Okay.
kind of.
My records indicate that the attack was not against the Jedi Temple, but it was against several other places on which the Jedi were located on Dantooine as part of an overall larger conflict between the Jedi and the Sith at the time. Several of the Sith involved were Darth Fen and Darth Silphy. My records indicate that the Shadow was a creature of immense power being manipulated and controlled at the whim of the Sith, and that it had quite a decisive victory against the Jedi here on Dantooine, and in response, our best masters tried to devise some way to defeat it. In repeated encounters, it became clear that every time the creature was killed, its essence was captured by some sort of dark side artifact and allowed to be reborn, and thus they needed a way to completely destroy the creature's essence such that it couldn't be recaptured. And thus they designed a powerful light side attuned crystal, and it was called the Heart of Virtue. And in conflict with the creature, they used this lightsaber crystal to power a lightsaber which dealt the killing blow, and by doing so destroyed the creature's essence and prevented it from being captured again by the Sith amulet. Is this information helpful to you?
Do you have any information on the crystal?
Records indicate that it was lost.
Any information on its construction or where to find information on the creation of the crystal?
My records indicate that it was formed of some extremely rare crystalline compound, and that it was attuned with the full force of the Jedi Council and all of the other participating Jedi on the planet. But the details of its construction are not contained within my records.
No information on what Jedi Master's holocron might contain such information?
Unfortunately not.
Any information on how it was lost, where it was lost?
We do not have any information regarding its whereabouts after the creature was defeated on Dantooine.
Do you have any information on who it was who used it?
Records indicate that the Jedi who used it wished to remain anonymous.
How about what part of Dantooine they were fighting on?
I believe that the war was fought mostly on the northern continent.
I was already aware that it was the northern continent. Do you have any more specific information?
Last known whereabouts.
Last known battle?
The last time the crystal is mentioned in any of my records is just the fact that it was successfully used in a battle on Dantooine to defeat the Shadow. Why are we asking so many questions about this?
Because we need to find it.
Because the Sith recreated the Shadow.
I see. Did they also manage to recreate the dark side artifact? Our records indicate that the artifact was more difficult to create than the creature itself. The creature was a rather simple work of Sith alchemy, and yet it would destroy itself without the influence of the amulet to contain it.
Oh, we destroyed that.
And now it seems
Well, what
that
is the problem? It
it
should not be
seems
able
that
to
we're
survive without it.
acting
Well,
as the amulet
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's using people as the amulet, basically.
Unfortunately, that is outside of the realm of my knowledge on the subject.
Yeah, figured as much.
My records do indicate that in the numerous times we fought and defeated the Shadow only for it to come back, many times the Sith would use the amulet to imbue the creature into one of their own warriors.
Do you have any records on how to detect who the shadow is in? Because we've been having problems with it appearing, and we haven't been able to sense it before it does.
The battles I have information about were all large-scale conflicts between the Jedi and the Sith, and when the creature appeared, it was quite obvious in the ranks of the enemy. They never had to deal with the subterfuge situation. Well, this is interesting. I do seem to have a little bit of additional data. My records actually indicate that at the time the creature was destroyed, it seems like the battle may have been actually 3 ways, with the creature versus the Sith and the Jedi.
So it turned on them.
There are several fragments indicating such.
Wait, Del, you destroyed the crystal?
What I believe the holocron is referring to as the amulet. Yes, we destroyed that.
How did you know to do so?
Other visions that I had. So I gathered this group to go after the crystal before the Sith could get their hands on it, and we destroyed it. We didn't know that it would attach itself to us instead.
And were they angry when they found that?
Who were angry?
The Sith.
If the amulet was destroyed, then why is it reconstituting itself onto people? It seems as though it can't live very long outside of it.
Well, somehow it's using us as the amulet in its place to kind of latch onto and then go into people. But if the Sith use the amulet to determine who the shadow went into, I don't understand how it is going into people of its own will. Maybe the Sith just thought they had control over it.
I don't remember anything about them determining who it went into, really.
Well, they said they made it one of their warriors. I want that
Hey, that's true.
that potentially may indicate that they believed that they could control who it went into. And while they were doing research, it seemed that none of the people actually doing the experiments ever
That's
became
true. They
taken over.
used the word transfection for transferring it into another being.
But we don't have any more data on that, so it will be impossible to know how it's doing it now.
Master, recently my friends and I found a video of this creature. It transformed a Republic soldier into a vessel of its, well, of destruction. The host was no longer himself. Do you have any more information on this?
As I mentioned, information indicates that sometimes the creature would be disguised or as one of the Sith warriors, and during the middle of the battle it would transform.
Do you know what exactly would cause it to trigger and transform?
According to several eyewitness accounts, people believe the transformation to be voluntary, at will.
Meaning the creature can appear whenever it chooses to.
Yes. It is difficult to say, though, given that the Sith and the creature that it transformed out of likely shared many of the same goals and dark side tendencies.
Is the host burned up in the first, when it's transformed, or does something of the host remain?
Oh, there's definitely something of the host. I felt it.
I do not have any data on this.
I'm just curious because in the entire time we've traveled together, this creature, it's never appeared to us in times when we've been in dire situations.
Well, as I said before, 2 of the people we were with when we destroyed the crystal aren't here. That may be preventing it from taking over someone.
These people, is there anything special about them?
They have the shadow attached to them, just like us.
But they're not Force users. They're nothing that might make them more important than the others, than the rest of you.
No, Dirk's not a Force user. He's got it on him.
So, when all of you are together, you function as an amulet.
That would be my guess.
But we don't know for sure. It could also have already taken someone over and is just waiting for a better moment. It could be that it's trying to take us out so that it's no longer shackled to us, but then if it's killed again, it would cease to exist. So I don't really know, because it's attacked us before when we've been the only people around.
Also, if say a Sith caught one of us and killed us and managed to and experimented and extracted the shadow somehow, then I imagine eventually they'd find a way to track down all of us and combine it all. So, I mean, we can't just leave it be and agree to never see each other again. That would be a bad idea. Plus, we don't know that somehow if we just leave this, it won't still grow stronger in all its individual pieces and then make like 6 different shadows or something. There's too much we don't know because we destroyed the chip with all the research on it.
It's because the Sith found out we had the chip.
I'm severely regretting that decision. We could have read it first and then destroyed it again. But then again, that would have meant staying on that planet longer to get the information from the computer.
Did you see the
No.
message I sent to you, Bezak?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you remember that time where I got annoyed and I attacked it directly without it being manifested? Yeah, that was fun.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, but we could check if it actually is capable of manifesting by trying that again.
I am struggling to remember what you're referring to. But
I mind sharded the thing.
Yeah, but it didn't manifest that time.
Wasn't
yeah,
manifested.
didn't
I
it
found
just reflect it or something?
No. I mean, obviously, whenever anyone uses mind powers on it, it hurts you when you do that. But I wanted to see if it was possible to possibly destroy it while it's weaker and not manifested. And everyone got really didn't want to continue down that road, so
Master, we are currently on the planet Ventouine where this battle took place. Was there anyone outside of the Jedi involved, or anything the locals might know? Anything you can point us to where we could get more information from the planet itself?
The only information I have on that is that the destruction and chaos caused by the creature was felt over many planets in the Outer Rim, and that this soon passed into legend. That's where the term the Shadow came from. So after all this time, I'd imagine that the rumors of the Shadow would be little use.
there are any legends specifically about this planet, about where the shadow was struck down, might be helpful for beginning the search.
Records of the war, perhaps?
Perhaps. I do not have any access to information on this planet's records. Okay, Picasso, you don't sense it with that.
He's just trying to sense the presence of the shadow without attacking it.
Gotta sense it to attack it.
That is true. I totally forgot as a Keldor, I can reroll sense the Force.
That's kind of important.
Right?
Tyler.
And search your feelings. So all the time in the maze, I could have been re-rolling.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, right?
Maybe you should try that now.
That's like me forgetting I can see through walls.
I don't think you need to reroll that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. Nope.
Did we ever test if using Force Light did anything? I feel like it did, but I don't remember.
It doesn't hurt it.
It got angry.
I mean, if it's physically manifested, it'll hurt it, but it doesn't hurt the stuff that's on us.
I mean, that's sort of how you guys survived the attack when Pakaz angered it the first time, because it was attacking you guys back, and you all sort of just gathered around Kalani, and she shielded you with Force Light. But yeah, it didn't directly injure it.
Can I sense it at all?
Yeah, you can sense like the faint presence of darkness.
Smack it.
No. Well, because I think it's still on us right now.
Well, yeah.
So that means it's not in someone else.
Well, no, the question is, can it manifest when there's not all of us present?
I don't want to test that theory unless we have the crystal. Because if we have to defeat it when it manifests, then it will be more powerful the next time when we have to kill it with the crystal.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's a bad idea. Let's not do that. Well, I think we're sort of done as far as this goes. There's no more information to have.
Yeah, and since Zarian's got to go to sleep and wake up really terribly early.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because I need money to live.
But why then? Why does it have to be then? No.
That's what I want to ask the lady who asked me to babysit, but whatever.
Alright, or is that gonna wrap up for
Wait,
tonight?
we have. Can we go for 2 more minutes?
Do we want to go for 2 more minutes?
Oh,
after that conversation, Del's going to start asking about what force techniques and things he has in his records. But anyway, continue.
You have till 12:36. And then I would recommend we close down because 6 o'clock is not a pretty time to wake up.
nah.
I mean, I've done things like where I've gone to bed at like 1 and gotten up at 6. It's not pretty.
What?
Kairas, can we go for 2 minutes? And then says nothing.
I'm messaging.
Can't you message people once Zari goes to sleep?
He's messaging me.
Well, then never mind.
That kind of makes it harder.
Used almost half my force point.
Do you want to do anything immediately about that, Ariel?
Once you clarify, then yes. I asked the group, do we have anyone in the northern continent?
Yeah, that's where Ajak and Jashar are looking for the Heart of Virtue.
Ireko knows that they're there. He sent forces their way.
How do you know?
Okay, we don't have to go into the complicated details. That's enough for the cliffhanger. The other half of the cliffhanger is we skip to a scene of a ship flying through hyperspace, and we see Elond and Lexa looking out into the streaking lights of hyperspace, and then it drops out over the planet of Thela.
Hey, it's only day 9. What are you doing?
We got there a day early.
And you hear
Yay!
a slight voice over the intercom saying, "Yes, your fantastic captain has arrived 1 day early with awesome piloting skills." We're ahead of schedule. Look at that. Now the Jedi can pay me extra with all their magical artifacts that they're gonna let me smuggle for them.
Do you think we should tell her, lass?
Someone's getting knocked unconscious and ditched on this planet.
Also, do we have any aspirin or anything? Have you found any? I've got a serious headache after last night.
You didn't ask me to look for any, and also we agreed when we started this you'd be the one to deal with the payment.
Alright, I'll see what I can do, but I could really use some aspirin.
I told you not to drink the whole bottle.
It wasn't the whole bottle.
Harry just Lex raises an eyebrow.
Okay, cue the outro.
And we'll leave it at there with Elon going, thank you for joining us in live, guys. Had a really good time. Hopefully we get to see more stuff and get to see more of the puzzle unfolding as we continue on in this Legends of the Force. Thank you for joining us in on YouTube. Hope you all have a good night, and God bless. Good night.